Hello, how's it going? Hi everybody. How we doing? Here we go into the intermission. Boom. Hi. How's it going? My name is Corey. Real fucking hot up there. Yeah. Hold on one sec. This fucking cat. All right. Let's get ready here. Here we go. All right. This is what happens when you're late. What happens? Hi, how's it going? Hello, howdy. Oh my god. It's too hot for this bullshit, Brady. Nobody cares. Ugh, whatever. Deafen. Boom, there we go. Hi, how's it going? Hello, and welcome to TwitchTok. My name's Corey. I'm your host. We get chatty. Who cares? Get chatty. I don't give a shit. I love this weather, bro. Cool. Good for you. I hate it. I hate fucking summer. I've always hated summer. I'm a winter baby, and I love the winter, and I don't do well sweating my balls off, so that fucking sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. You'll host what? Oh, host the thing. Yeah, host it. Hi, host. Oh, hi. I got what you're saying. I thought you said I'll host. I can't fucking see. What are you even talking about? Franken, whatever. Okay. Hi. I'm trying not to die. We'll lean into this one. It'll be fine. There was a cat in the room, that's true. I kept my door open. You might hear some wind on this episode, but it's too fucking hot, you guys. Like, I can't. So, my air conditioner blows fuses, so we might actually have the show get blown up again tonight. I don't know what to do. Like, I can hardwire it in. We've got the good signal. We've got all the stuff that we need. So, it should be good. Kitty on the green screen. No, he wasn't on the green screen. He jumped in, and he looked like he was doing that thing where he was a cat eyeing it up, like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do this. And it's like, no, you're fucking not, you rat prick. Yeah. My cat's name is Monty. Yeah, I saw that. I answered your question. Calm the fuck down, dude. It's like 2 minutes in and you're already annoying. Come on. Come on! Hi. Shout out to Fat Matt. I don't know who he is, but I've never seen him before. That's pretty cool. I like to look in here. Shout out to SNQ Ball, also joining us. Let's see here. Who else have I? Savage Dragons D, Tweaky Gandhi, yep. Swanee Sandy, and Zeke FQ. Shout out to all those people joining us. And I think Kickstart 242 is new. Love to have your subscriptions, all you guys. Super awesome. We got a really good one. Oh, nice. CR, you going to the mall? CR, you going to the mall? Am I subscribed? I think you are. You have a little subscribe thing. Can you do this? Here, do this. Let's go Discord. We'll give the Discord out, or we'll do a Venmo. See if you can do this, Brady. Do Venmo. Let's see here. Here we go. One Venmo. Boom. Boom. Perfect. So yeah, if you can do that. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! I need the air horns. Here we go. Yeah. See, are you going to the mall? Following. Fuck yeah. What's up? And you extended your fucking subscription. That's weird. You extended your subscription and then you followed. I don't know how that works, but that's pretty good. West YNW followed. What up? Welcome to the show. Yeah, we got a lot of fun times here today. Are you subscribed now? Yeah, you're a 2-month subscriber, Brady. So if you look at next to your name where the star is, that's how you can tell. So like if you highlight over the star right in front of their name. So for instance, if you look in the chat room, it looks like everybody's subscribed except for Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox isn't. And I think that's it so far. So far, of the people that have talked, that's propped me up beside the jukebox is the only one. So if anybody wants to gift him a subscription, go for it. Ouch, what a call out. Yeah, that's right. I see you over there enjoying free entertainment for free. How dare you, sir? Oh, shit!
Here we
Here
go.
comes the money! There we go. Yeah, that call out. You did send me Venmo money. That's pretty good. I'm just calling you out for not subscribing. Actually, here, hold on. You know what? I wonder if I can... Are there any channel ones that are on here? Huh. What do the different tiers do? Tier 3 is so expensive. I don't have any. I looked. I don't understand Twitch. I don't think anybody does. Like, we're actually trying to all figure it out as we go. Also, we have Discord. Go over to our Discord channel. If you, too, want to join into the chat, that's how you do it. Yeah, we got a really good one today, I think. Our guest should go. So what's up on Discord? There you go. Why don't you go into Discord and see? What do you mean, what's up on Discord? We got some fun stuff. There's Bob Kroll's home address is there because Cabra Hunting put it there a while ago. Do I get money for each subscription? Yeah, I think I get a cut or half. So the way it works with Twitch is that there's two forms of like money. So like you have affiliate and you have partner, right? Like, I think Steel Toe is a partner. I'm just an affiliate. You have to get 75 average viewers to get up to partner. Affiliate's a little bit easier. That's where we're at. God damn it, a cold beer feels good. Yeah. Where's Tom?
I'm the fucking crackhead.
We know you're a crackhead, Tom.
Tom Michaud.
Yes, we know your name. What are you doing?
Well, you know, it's just that dope cuck life.
Well, if you're living the dope cuck life, what is Matt Doima doing? Because I thought that he was the cuck.
Oh, that's fine. I'm a giant hot pussy, so... Wow, that
That's
was
what
weird.
I just said.
That would be cool.
Yeah, spread the word, tell people about it, do whatever you got to do to get there. Yeah, we got. Let's see, what should we do? Let's cover a little bit of the news first. This is gonna be a weird political one probably. But you know, whatever. Who cares? We've got. This one's actually kind of cool. And we'll see if we can't. I think I've got the hang of putting this up in the thing, but I will. So here's the thing. I will put this link in here. So this is going to be one of the last links I post in here. From now on, if you want links from the story, you have to go over to the TwitchTok Discord, which is where we will put them. I'm also going to set it up so people can listen and interact with the show. Brady is in there. Oh, shout out to Fat Matt with a subscription at Tier 1. Fuck yeah, dude. Now you can have all the fun. What the fuck is Discord? It's an app. Here, check this out. I'll show you. So, see that link? If you click that link, it'll bring you to the program you need to download. What Discord is it's basically like a voice chat, text prompt. It's basically a channel hub. Think of it like Facebook, but there's no censorship because I run it. So, throw it up on your green screen. What, Discord? Yeah, I can do that. Fuck yeah, Fat Matt. We got the delays going. Life is good. I think the air conditioner is finally reaching this room. Life is all right now, guys. I have to admit, when we started, it's not that techy. Calm down. It's super easy, buddy. All you have to do is download that app, click on it, go in there, and then there's a room where all of us are. There's links. There's all kinds of fun stuff. We'll even, here. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hell yeah. Shout out to CR, you going to the mall, who subscribed to Tier 1 for the second month. So they followed, subbed, and then go again. So, I'm too young for touchy stuff. Nobody wants touchy stuff. What are you talking about?
Here comes the money.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Here comes the money.
What's my name? Sandy says, how come everybody else's phone can fit 50 zillion apps on it, and every time I try to load an app, it says I have no room? Easier said than done. Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, taxation is definitely theft. Hey, Ryan, are you in Discord? Whoa, when did the show start? You know, when it usually does. We've been on for about a half hour now. This is on you, bitch. Mikey 2 Milks. I'm going to take away your emote. Actions like that.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Yep, okay, Ryan is in.
Here comes the money.
Did he get in? I don't see you in the Discord. Are you in the general? Get into the voice. Oh, there you are. Yeah, go into the TwitchTok. I was called Tick. Go into the TwitchTok voice chat, Ryan, and that's we're gonna pop in there, and that's where we are going to interact. It's where we talk with people now because Facebook keeps dropping shit and it's garbage. All right, I know Texas Theft is in here. He had a question. Let's see what he's doing. Brady, how are you doing?
I'm good, bro. You got me?
Yep, I got you. You're talking about that Garbrandt KO?
Yeah. How'd you feel about that? That dude sat down on his hand.
I mean,
almost and just,
I do hate Cody Garbrandt a lot, but that was a sick knockout. I think that was a better knockout. I mean, the way he leaned, he basically threw that punch from his shoes.
That motherfucker grabbed the cage and was like way back, and then just whop. It's like one of those things that you used to practice as a kid that would never happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it was one of those things where he was just like, boom. So, Round of Thought says, swapping an aluminum radiator and not keeping cool, making boosted pulls? I'm on Discord inside. Oh, okay. Hold on. Where is he? There he goes. Ryan, get into the chat room. Let's talk, bitch. See what I did there? Let's,
Does Ryan like MMA?
I mean, I don't think he cares about it one way or the other. Hold on.
Cool, kind of like me and your baseball.
I mean, that's fine. It's not my baseball. I don't own baseball, bro.
Oh, I thought you said you did that one time.
Yeah, nope, you caught me. I'm the president of baseball.
Yeah, you revealed that secret.
Did I? Did I reveal that secret?
Yeah, it was on the low though. Sorry, I'm still muted though, so nobody can hear me.
No, you're not. If I can hear you, you're not muted.
No, it's cool, man. They can't hear me, dude. It's all good.
What are you talking about? They're listening to you right now. This is what the Discord looks like for those. Somebody said put it in there. So this is all the fun you're missing out on with Discord. That's pretty fun. All right. Let's go that. Boom. There we go. You can't hear who? What? What do you mean you can't hear him? He's right there. If I can hear him, you should be able to hear him. Deaf can't hear Brady. Okay. I think they're fucking with me now.
Yeah, probably so. I don't think they can hear me at all, dude. So it's cool that you were the president of baseball.
What are
and
you
you're
talking
making all
about?
that money. But you're
Hold
on the down low, like trying to be a comedian.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys. You guys that are having. Hold on. You guys that are having
It's all good for
issues.
it.
What'd you say?
I said it's all good, man. You can tell them at some point. They can't hear me anyway.
They can hear
I said
you.
it's all good, man. You can tell them at some point. They can't hear me anyway. They can't.
They can hear
I said
you.
it's all good, man.
Yeah,
You can
I just
tell
went
them.
to the Twitch channel, and they can totally hear you. FYI. Yeah, they're just
What did they say?
they're fucking with you,
You talking
doofus.
shit?
No, I think the Cody Garbrandt knockout was nice. I mean, good for him. He needs something cool like that. All right. How do you?
I liked O'Malley's knockout too.
Yeah. Let's see. Bly Dog, you are in the direct message thing. You got to go over to the. You gotta click on the TwitchTok, guys, and you got to go into the TwitchTok voice server. That's how you get in there. Ryan, I see you on the server, but you are not in the room, so I cannot use that. But I'll just call you if need be. Who do you think Garbrandt fights next?
I'm looking at either. Well, if they don't push Aljamain Sterling, it's going to be Garbrandt versus Aljamain for the number one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it doesn't matter to me though, because Peter Yan's the champion of that division. Like Peter Yan's gonna have that belt for a while. Nobody's touching him.
No, I agree. It doesn't matter, but I think they're just going to try to give us the best fight they can. You know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And right now, I think that's Garbrandt and Aljamain Sterling. I mean, Sean O'Malley's good, but he's not ready for that shit yet.
Mikey Two Milk says Dillashaw too. Nah, I don't think so. I mean, Dillashaw maybe. Actually, you know what? They do hate each other, and that would be a decent fight. But I don't know. I feel like Dillashaw has to work more than just that one because he was suspended for the juice.
Yeah, they could totally sell it though, like as a like Garbrandt 2.0 wanting revenge over Dillashaw with his first fight back. You know,
Yeah.
kind of see what Dillashaw's
everybody
made of.
everybody loves a fucking grudge match.
Yeah, they could sell the fuck out of that one too. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like Dillashaw either. Like
I hate
never
Dillashaw.
cared.
I hate Garbrandt. I just don't like him. I've never liked him. Like I was very upset when Dillashaw beat Cruz, but whatever. I mean, I don't know that those two weight classes, man. I don't really give a shit about like Mighty Mouse, fucking, and the next one up. I don't really care. Like Peter Yan is exciting. I enjoy watching him fight, and I like Aljo. Aljo's real good. But I mean, beyond that, I don't give a shit. Like Cejudo was good. Cejudo was great for it, but like now it's like we're back to square one again, where nobody gives a shit about those lower divisions. Like the UFC basically starts at 145.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, what is it? What is 125? Like Joseph Benavidez?
Yeah,
Like,
here I'll bring it
the only
up real
experienced
quick.
fighter?
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's what they were doing. They were trying to set him up to get the belt, and then he lost.
Yeah, exactly.
But I
So,
mean, they
no,
had problems.
135
They had
though-
problems with that. Like even when they had Demetrius Johnson. They had the best. Arguably, I'm not a big Demetrius Johnson fan, but I understand he's arguably the raw hate and emotion. That fight was awesome. Yeah, that's true. I do say, as much as I hate Garbrandt and Dillashaw, they did have one of my favorite press conference moments ever when they kept screaming at each other about what kind of fathers they were, and Garbrandt defeated goes, "I'm a good dad."
Yeah, that was pretty fucking hilarious.
Let me see if I can find it.
You said that you were disappointed that Dillashaw beat Dominic Cruz. That never happened.
Yeah. Or wait, Garbrandt beat him, right?
Yeah, Garbrandt beat him, like outclassed him too. Like just had a great fight.
I thought it was the other guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me double check. Let me double check this real quick.
Go ahead,
The
dude, check me, man.
Dominator.
Go ahead and check me.
Oh, I'll check you.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, Dillashaw's the one he won by split decision, and Garbrandt's the one he lost by unanimous decision. That was, I think, the other thing too. Was like that was a loss, and I think it's pretty crazy to think with Dominic Cruz is that you have to go back to 2007 because that the Garbrandt loss was crazy, and he did seem like he was getting outclassed, but I don't know, man. That Cejudo fight was stopped real early. And I get that knee and then the punches. I get what's happening, but you have to let him fight, man.
That was shitty. I think even with the next card and the next fight, they let the other ref let the fighter go and just let him go.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the thing. It's
sure.
what I want to
that's
talk
shitty,
about
man.
in UFC is more consistency, right? The whole idea is that if you're gonna let people fight, then let them fight. If you're going to stop them early, then stop them early. But this weird-ass nebulous, whatever the ref feels like in the moment, there's something has to be done about that. Because it's not fair. Like one of the best fights you'll ever see in your life is Pat Barry versus Czech Congo. And that fight would never happen today. That shit would be
Oh,
fun.
no, that would never happen, dude. That would have been stopped as soon as Barry had Congo.
So, yeah, we got
Congo would have never been able to
Figurino, who couldn't make weight. We got Buenavides. We got Brandon Moreno. We got Formiga.
Brandon Moreno's good.
I mean,
He's
kind of, but
entertaining.
Moreno's one of those guys where he's lost to all the people that are relevant. At some point, you either have to move weight classes or get away because you're not gonna. There's no upward mobility for him. There's nowhere for him to go.
Well, he could go up. I mean, he could have
I don't think so, man. I think he gets absolutely murdered in a higher weight class.
Yeah, but no, in a higher weight class, yeah, for sure. Yeah, fuck it.
I don't think there's anywhere for him to go.
125 if they're moving up. If 125.
Well,
is moving
he's
up.
been beat at 135 too, though. I mean, Brandon Moreno is he's lost what is it? His last. He won. He's done a little win streak lately, but he had back to back because it was Little Pettis and here. Let me find it.
No, what happened was he got off the Ultimate Fighter. He had a couple of wins and then he lost back to back. Then he went to one championship, and he won the title there. And then UFC signed him again. That's what happened with him.
With Moreno?
Yeah, correct.
I don't see him winning. I'm looking at the Tapology. I don't see him winning the one championship. He did some jiu-jitsu stuff after that, but there's nothing about one.
There's nothing about one. Okay.
He went to LFA
Well,
though.
I
That's
stand
the other thing
corrected.
too. Is he went down to LFA? Like they demoted him down to LFA after his
That's what I
fucking
saw. LFA.
Yeah.
What the hell is LFA anyway?
Legacy Fighting Association. It's basically like UFC's minor leagues.
Dude, I went to high school with fighting for them.
Yeah. No, that's the next step up. But here I'm gonna mute you. I got Ryan standing by. We got to get over to some politics talk. If you're around, we'll talk a little bit more MMA in a bit. All right.
That's all good. Yeah, I'll be around. I'm gonna go on Twitch and just like watch and listen to the show.
All
Maybe
right.
troll the chats a little.
Perfect, buddy. Later. All right, that was Brady. Let's see here. Is Ryan here?
What's up, dude?
What up, dude? How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
Doing real good.
I mean, you know, clients' businesses burning down and shit, but
Oh yeah, did you have clients that had businesses that burnt down?
yeah, I mean, the ones that didn't close down for Corona, you know, are burning down, but boarding up a few others that survived in, you know, areas of Minneapolis. So, yeah, crazy times, man.
Yeah. How do you feel about all that? Like it's fucking crazy, right?
Oh, you know, the inner conspiracy theorist really came out there with all the who is this guy that busted windows out in the auto store? Is he a cop? Is he not? Who is he? That was just all the martial law.
I can say this, like that guy that was like everybody's like, oh, it's this cop. That cop that they like fucking pointed out that everybody was trying to dox him on. I know that guy. Like he was actually working in St. Paul the night that it happened.
Yeah, no,
And like it's funny because he's logged into the St. Paul precinct. There's body cams, and he was in his squad car.
yeah, it's kind of and it's interesting.
Like it's like there's proof positive it was not him, but like that's the shitty thing about doxing is like if there's a bad dox, there's no way to go back about it. You know, I remember when 9/11 happened and CNN posted something. They're like, this was the scene in Iran today, and they had everybody celebrating, and then 4 or 5 days later they came out with that was stock footage from their Independence Day. Like, and the shit is like how many people see that celebration but they never see the omitted thing, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And it's easier to omit later under the radar. You get slapped with a little fine, but you know what?
Tell people who you are too, because I said Ryan, but I didn't identify yourself.
Oh, hey, Ryan Waterbury, libertarian activist and owner of One Dog Solutions, a marketing and web development company in Minneapolis. You can find me on Twitter at One Dog Solutions.
How much do I have to pay you to get some web solutions around here? My web is garbage.
Hey,
can you take a gun? Can you take a gun and just like take out fucking Comcast? Because I feel like that would be an internet solution.
Yeah, you know I've got that or CenturyLink where I'm at, and
CenturyLink's even worse. It's like I can't believe I'm saying something's even worse, but it absolutely fucking is.
I was just gonna say I'm actually considering Comcast because CenturyLink.
Comcast, I will say this about Comcast, and like their shit's been real weird during the pandemic, which I think makes sense. I mean, I'm sure the fucking just overload of people on the networks is crazy, but I will say this about Comcast: their base like internet package that has like high speed internet is actually pretty reasonable, and it's all right. It's not bad. It's okay.
No. Yeah, you know, I revisited after a long while of not being with them, and it's actually not that bad. The problem is, if you ever want to leave, good luck. They get ridiculous with their contracts and billing. Yeah, but anyway, current state of politics is holy shit. 2020 has been completely fucked. It's it's nuts. The presidential election coming up. I mean, I thought Trump had a pretty comfortable in, even with all the shit going on, until he decided to pull the military out on the U.S. citizens, and I think that's where he might be losing it. There are a lot of constitutionalists out there that came out against him, and a lot of of the hardcore neocon statist military folks out there that are speaking out against him. So we'll see. It's going to be rough either way, Joe or Don.
Yeah, or Joe. Just vote for Joe.
The funny thing is that I don't think a lot of people really realize that Joe Biden has crafted a lot of the pro-cop legislature out there.
Well, not only that, but he's also responsible for a lot of like anti-black legislation. Like he did like people talk about Obama and they're like, oh, this and that, but the reality with Obama is that like his like no-knock policy fucked us for a long time. And I'm not saying he's alone or he's the worst or anything like that. It's funny how people tend to forget or look past their guy. Like what's interesting to me about the temperature of the room in this election is you have a bunch of pious liberals that are going to gulp down hard and vote for Biden even though they hate him, just like every Republican did for Donald Trump last election, and they just went after him. I mean, the shit that liberals did to Republicans over the last 4 years because they voted for Trump is insane, and now they're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people really realize that to get Obama elected, Joe Biden was the key running mate.
Well, I think most people that pay attention to, he wasn't the key running mate. He was the DNC handcuff. It's the same thing they did to Donald with Pence. Like what happens is the party pops in and they handcuff the vice president with somebody that will play ball according to the big leagues. Both the GOP does it and the DFL. You can make the argument. You can make the argument that that's what Cheney was with Bush as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you have to go all the way back to Bill Clinton before you find a president where I feel like Al Gore was, or not Al Gore. I feel like his vice president was just selected like that. I mean, like, it's not, and maybe he was. I mean, whatever, could be too. Who knows?
Oh, you talk about going back to the Bill Clinton era, and I mean, when they crafted the handgun bill and the the crime bill, which is a signature piece of legislation that.
Oh yeah, I mean, and how about pounding through Obamacare, even though it didn't work and they knew it? And what's funny is they pounded it through, knowing that it didn't work because they were opposed to Romney Care for about 3 years prior to them doing that, and that's all it is.
Oh, and
these parties could not be more the same if they fucking tried. Like if I took you off this planet, Ryan, and we went somewhere out in the galaxy, and I just showed you Earth, we're not from here, you would say this is fiction. This isn't real.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely correct. I mean, I have another friend that says, oh, oops, the Matrix glitched today. We saw a little behind the scenes where I think people are getting it. But no, they won't. And, I see even people talking about the riots and the protesting recently that,
well, even that 2 weeks prior to today, the Dems were basically calling anybody that was going outside a fucking person that was in favor of genocide. Like, oh, you're going to kill all these people. And then, like, the moment a shooting happens, or, an execution happens, all of a sudden they're out like fucking, fuck coronavirus, it's not real. This is racial equality. Like, this is what I'm saying about the left. And if you fall on the left, I am finding it so fucking hard. Like I feel like as a libertarian, and this is something that I wanted to talk to you about today. Have you seen an influx of people telling you what your beliefs are as a libertarian? Like, I feel like I keep getting all these messages from people, and I feel like, and I posted about it today on Facebook, I feel like there's this weird populace of coward Republicans that tell their friends they're libertarians just so they don't have to own up to voting for Trump. And then these people confront me and they're like, oh, well, you fucking want to do this, this, and this. I'm like, no, I don't. Well, that's a libertarian tenet. That's what you guys believe. And I'm like, the fact you're using the term you guys means you don't understand what libertarianism is.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like, because it's an individuality. Like, it's individual first. Like, it's literally individualism.
See that, and that's becoming a really popular tactic. And, I kind of go back to Donald Trump pulling out the military and classifying Antifa as a terrorist organization, where if you're in the party of power, but they are a terrorist organization. Like anti-fascism, like at its fucking
nature point. It's just it's in a fucking vacuum as it comes. It is a fascist thing because you're literally showing up and trying to violently suppress people's right to speak because you don't want to hear what they're saying. That is the definition of fascism.
Oh, exactly. But the fact that the current ruling party said, "Oh, this quote unquote opposing party or group is a terrorist group," they can label you however they want, and that's what it's coming down to. So, what you're talking about when you say you're a libertarian, you think this. The narrative is being pushed to, oh, you're a violent extremist because you think this. You must be a terrorist and you're in this group. We're really getting closer to that point where the government is labeling people as terrorists just because you don't support the current narrative.
Right.
Today, I mean, I saw a ton of articles where WHO finally came out, of course. Coronavirus isn't really transmitted by asymptomatic people.
No,
Surprise.
and it's also, it doesn't live on surfaces.
Yeah, surprise. We just fucked you over for 3 months and ruined everyone's businesses. So the ones that survived could get even more business. You see the articles about the Great Reset where huge mass amounts of money have been funneled to the politically well-connected. That's absolutely true. And don't get me wrong, coronavirus, getting the flu, pneumonia all at the same time, that's terrible. But it affects a very small subset of people. And the media and the left use this as an excuse. They never let a situation go to waste that they can use to advance themselves and their political partners.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what they do. I mean, they've been fucking doing this.
So along came another great, the classic divisive one, racism, came along, and they couldn't help themselves but fall all over and use a tragedy to advance their narratives. And it's really kind of funny just to see the finger pointing again over and over within their party, within our local party and groups, and see the video where Jacob Fry on Sunday was getting shamed and told to walk away because he didn't support disbanding the police, which we all know is a political
which is the funniest thing ever, really. Like he's kowtowing and playing all of the ball, and then they're just like, yeah, but still, no, fuck you.
I gotta say it. It was a little.
It made me laugh a lot, and he deserves it. Like he literally deserves it. And this is like that dude. Like fucking, I want that guy gone more than maybe anybody else. No lie. Like I think that guy is maybe the worst person in office. Like it's just like he sat and watched the city burn.
If you saw the video of him crying at the coffin at George Floyd's funeral,
yeah,
and I was.
But my point is that he let the city burn. Like they failed us. They let the city burn.
He did, but honestly, that's a tough fine line.
It's not though. It's not. I don't buy that shit either though. You bring in the National Guard immediately and you let them kettle the people because once they actually like he gave the orders for the police to stand down. And once he gave the orders for the police to do their fucking job, guess what? It was fine. They contained it. Like you literally did nothing because again, with him, he's actually connected to Antifa and he is a radical left activist. This is a racial justice thing that he wanted to see out. He literally was Twitter beefing with the president while the city he represents burns and he did nothing. He showed up to a fucking press conference, rolled his eyes in his skinny jeans and left. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I have friends that know him, and they say, "Oh, he's pretty cool. You know, he's a good guy." I don't care about any of that. He might be a good guy, but he can get fucked.
Yeah, today I listened to him call into a radio show that actually would have him, and it was point blank. Asked him the same question, he wouldn't answer it. It was all platitudes and no policy. He said, "Yeah, I'm not down with disbanding the police, like light note, and then platitude after platitude. I think that's the general thing to do if you're a DNC mayor sitting in office. Pete did it really well for a long time during the primaries for the DNC candidates. But honestly, what do you do in a situation like that? Call the military in, which is still around, and occupy, and use force to violently
No, you
suppress people.
kettle the protesters, you divide them, and then they go away. Like, as what fucking happened? Like, that's the play. But instead, this motherfucker, this fucking milquetoast of a human being, sat there, watched his city burn, and then he's gonna make us watch his cocksucker smarmy smile while he's at a press conference. Like, you're literally not doing anything. And you're Twitter beefing with the president. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care anymore. Like, the reality is that if you were a fucking, like, representative, if you were a new person, if you were anybody that was going to make any kind of changes, you would have done it. But you didn't. You watched your fucking city burn. And this is the thing. I refuse to let him off the hook for accountability. Accountability is very big with me when it comes to politics. It's one of the biggest reasons that led me to become a libertarian. Because there's no accountability for the major parties anymore. And I'm not saying, like, oh, everybody's evil or anything like that. It's not about that.
Well, there's no accountability for anyone in office. So, today, seeing the reports from the bullshit World Health Organization saying, oh, well, coronavirus really isn't that bad.
Well, and did you see this? Hold on. Here, I'm going to pop this up here real quick just to see if you saw it or not. But this is pretty fucking funny to me. Here, let's see if we can do this on... I'm still getting used to the tech. Here we go. Live stream. Boom. There's been 3 reports now. Multiple labs, multiple countries confirming that coronavirus started as an accident in a Chinese lab. And this right here, this is from India. There's one in India. Forbes published an article yesterday that they took down because they had... Funny thing about the Forbes thing, right? You want to get your conspiracy hat on? So... John Russell, get into Discord, man. I would love to hear you sound off on this. Click on this. If you don't have Discord, get there. Tovar and all them are in there. John Russell just said that Jacob Fry is the Bash Howard of mayors.
Oh my God.
So what this is, and I'll share it again. I'll share it in Discord. I'm not sharing stuff in the Twitch feed anymore, but all the links will be on the Twitch server. So go over to Twitch and you can see any of the links that we're talking about right now. But so this is right out of there. And this is saying that, like, the genome and stuff. So Britain, Norway, Sweden, and now India have come out and said that this is a lab-constructed virus. Like, it was an accident. I don't think it was, like, bioengineered or anything, but this is the thing that I kept saying that I got called a racist for over and over again. Oh, hey, you don't trust, like China and the WHO, the World Health Organization's primary board on the top has 5 members that used to be in the Chinese Communist Party. Like, this whole thing, coronavirus, this was literally a cover-up and a rebranding because China didn't want to get called SARS-2. So they had them rebranded as Corona. That's the only reason we don't call this SARS-2. The medical name for it is COVID-19 SARS-2.
Well, somebody's got branding down.
Yeah. I mean, as an internet solutions company, you got to respect that kind of branding, right?
I do. And this is at a global level.
Right. Well, the WHO is bad. Like, so my history with the WHO is I have a godson that lives in Taiwan, right? My buddy, one of my best friends, moved out there, had a kid, named me the Godfather, which is, as an Italian person, is probably the closest to fucking, like, bliss that I can become. Because now I just get to walk around Taiwan like, I will give you this favor. But the reality is, like, ever since that happened, ever since my buddy moved there, I have been paying close attention. And if you are looking at Taiwan, it's impossible to not see how fucked up China is. Because China does some fucked up shit to Taiwan. For instance, the World Health Organization is not the World Health Organization and the UN are not allowed to acknowledge Taiwan as a country or China will leave. That's a thing. China has put the kibosh on everybody. Have you seen that interview where that reporter is talking to the WHO member about Taiwan being a thing and he just disconnects?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the world we live in. But then again, and this is the problem, if you criticize this shit, you're a racist or you're a fucking like, fascist or whatever name wants to be told. We hit this weird precipice as a society where insulting someone online is the equivalent of debating issues now.
Yeah.
And there's no way that doesn't lead to troubles going forward. How could it not?
And honestly, when I see commentary and reports of Putin talking about how the U.S. Citizenship and the wool being pulled over the eyes of the mass of U.S. citizens on what's really going on, he's absolutely correct. And as corrupt as he is, he's not wrong. And to have the WHO come out days after the riots break out and everyone's been exposed and everyone's around each other totally blows up the narrative that you need to stay in your fucking home or else you're going to die because of COVID-19.
Well, it's not even at this point, it can't even be considered a narrative. It has to be considered propaganda, right?
It is.
Because it's and look at the fucking the world numbers right now. I mean, here, we'll go right now. I'll fucking do it right fucking now, motherfucker. Let's go on live stream, boom. How about all this technology, huh? I'm getting the hang of it.
I'm really liking this.
Yeah, it's nice. See, I like the Discord because it's got a nice, clear interface and people can hear it better. And Facebook gets all weird and garbly after you've been on the phone for 10 minutes. So here is now, and this is worldometer.info. This is the official show page that we've gone to track this all the way. So if you don't know here, I'm going to pop this up. People ask me oh, why not go with a government, whatever? I'm like, because privatize everything. What World Meter Info does, and you can delete everything else and go there. I highly encourage it. But this is a website that they've been keeping track of birth rates, death rates, divorce rates, debt, every number they can. And then when coronavirus came out, they're just well, might as well throw coronavirus in. So this is a aggregator of information that I trust implicitly. And what's great is if you look against the CDC, their numbers of death and cases are about identical. So yesterday we had in the entire United States 586 deaths in the entire country. 2 days ago we had 373 deaths, and we are now approaching the point where we are a week removed from the high protests in Minneapolis. So if coronavirus is this thing that they kept selling on us, it's going to go through the roof 2,000%. It has to.
But it's not, because and you look at the red states that opened up,
right, and that means they're lying to us, Ryan.
That is absolutely correct. And do you know who ran the states that had the harshest lockdowns?
Dems. It was a Democrat thing. It became political immediately.
Well, it was political immediately.
Because the whole thing with them is it literally became. I remember the moment it became political. It was when Pelosi was walking out after they were arguing about the relief check. That's the moment it became political. If you're a Republican, you wanted to go outside. If you're a Democrat, you wanted to stay inside. And part of that, I believe. Now, this is all my conjuncture, I guess you would call it, but I believe it's because the Dems feel like if they can tank the economy, they have a better chance at winning the election, because the economy tends to be the biggest issue that presidents get elected over, especially reelected.
But I think this is going to call their bluff, that they were lying.
There's no calling their bluff, though. The people that are blue, no matter who, they have bought into that system on a level that's just, it betrays logic. I mean, the idea that radical activist feminists would be voting for Joe Biden. If I told you that was going to happen 5 years ago, you would have laughed at me.
All right. So hear me out. I looked at the voting numbers after 2016 because I was deeply involved with the party, both local and national. And I did a lot of demographic reporting and breakdowns and numbers. And even with the top level numbers, without really diving down into that, you had 24% of the popular vote that voted for Miss Lock Her Up. And you had 23 and odd change percent vote for the Don. So you have a pretty small percentage of not even the total voting population, but the non-felon voting population that's allowed to vote, saying blue no matter who. There's a huge amount of people out there, over half, that didn't vote or aren't fully bought into that. So maybe I'm optimistic and think that there's a little hope.
But I don't buy that, though, because if you look at the actual margins, I mean, it was pretty much Dems showed up and Republicans showed up. Like, the numbers were pretty on average with what they are. It just seems like most Democrats voted for Hillary, most Republicans voted for Trump.
Yeah, the voting participation since, I think, 96 or 2000 has gone down pretty much standard percentage.
I mean, of course it has. Like, don't represent your public for that long and see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean, so you have a pretty minute amount of people going out. Do you see any more people going out to vote or less? I mean, what's your opinion? Do you think people will actually go out and vote? The other
I
thing
think more. I think you're looking at a situation where people will feel very vested in this election in a way that they might not have before. Like, for instance, you know, the Dems will be like, shit, we got to turn out, especially if you're a Dem that voted, you know, for Jill Stein or, you know, Johnson or just any other third party. Like, there's going to be a like, oh shit, I didn't go to my party, now look what happened aspect of it.
Well, so here's the other interesting thing where voting fear. And I think this was a big play by the blue team where stay home, stay away from people, you know, to keep people from the general public from going out and voting and mail voting. Well, those are due at the end of the month and starting for absentee ballot, which is not absentee anymore. You can vote by mail. And that starts and ends to get them in by end of June or July. And it depends on state, but a lot of the mail voting really is going to start happening and in large en masse at the end of June. So to have this bluff called before that happens, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. You've got, I mean, there's a lot of people in both camps that.
Well, I think we can all agree that whatever happens, this isn't going to be a more civil election. Like, this election cycle is going to be way more brutal than the last one, and that's fucking saying something.
Oh, God. I was at Merlin's Rest with the LPMN, and we were all kind of expecting the Hillary win. And when we looked around when some of the key states were turning red, I was just like, I think this fucker's going to pull it off. And I literally saw tears and people bawling.
Oh, I remember vividly. I was at a show because they did a comedy show for the election, and I was the libertarian. I showed up in my Feel the Johnson shirt, and you know, I was just sitting around. And then the moment he won, all the Democrats there just went nuts on me.
Oh, it's your fault. It was totally your fault because you didn't vote for their Messiah.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what they thought, you know, and that's like, it's like the whole thing is that people don't understand that like your feelings and who you believe in and all this other shit that doesn't matter from the facts. Like facts don't care about your feelings. That's the reality, and people hate to admit that, but the reality was that like just because you want to virtue signal that you have a female candidate does not make your female candidate any more electable. You know, it's like Liz Warren. Everybody's telling me, oh, Liz Warren. And I'm like, Liz Warren is the worst choice I've ever seen in my life. America doesn't want intellectuals or you would see more of them elected, period.
Yeah.
When's the last time a president was a pure intellectual? I mean, fucking like all the way back. I mean, like, I don't even know if there was one. Even your early on, like Adams and like Hamilton and all these guys that fancied themselves intellectuals, they were soldiers. They weren't intellectuals.
I was going to say Hamilton, maybe.
That's what I'm saying, but he's more of a soldier than he is an intellectual.
And the only reason that they come off as intellectuals today is because that was their form of communication, is to write eloquently in long verse. So, you know, they're as much intellectuals as you and I are, conversing with each other online, through their letters. So, speaking of female candidates, the LP nominated their political candidate for president.
Kind of
Joe
like, does it
Jorgensen.
feel like they just kind of went with Joe, like, because they didn't know what, like, it felt like they just didn't know what to do because their egos were crushed because of fucking Amash, because Amash was the guy.
Yeah. Amash got in late.
I mean, I get it. Like, from his aspect, it's way smarter to not deal with that shit because, like, he gets to be the first libertarian reelected because he'll get reelected and he'll become the first libertarian elected as a libertarian, and that's going to mean more going forward than losing a president election.
Absolutely.
But I'm mad because that dude knew how to frame the two-party argument better than most people. Like, he would have been able to frame up. And then, like, the other thing is that he has a huge fucking record. But the one thing I feared about Amash, and I think you might have been in the same boat, is, like, I think it's he might have been a little bit too left for the libertarians. Like, we might have run into another situation like McMillan. Well, that's like, look at Gary Johnson. Like, they fucking had people that were running opposite him just to fucking do that.
No, and see, that's the thing. He actually checks all the boxes for the Liberty Republicans that have come in, and also the left libertarians.
You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna put up my adversarial libertarian banner. I had this podcast that I used to do with a buddy of mine, but it never got any traction. It's actually the theme song that we're using on this show. But yeah, like, check that out. Look at that shit. Look at that.
Where did you post that?
It's on the Twitch feed, baby.
Oh, there we go. Ad lib.
Yeah, adversarial libertarian.
No, I like that.
Yeah, like, here's the, like, I'll show you. Actually, here I had this commissioned in 2017, and I've never used it.
Well, you're using it now. I love it.
See there, we've even got that. We'll pop this over, and we'll say that this is an ad lib episode because, you and I don't know. It's also, like, that's one of the things I really enjoy about talking politics with you is, like, it's very rare I get to talk to somebody that has very similar ideology to me because we're very rare. I mean, individualists aren't the popular thing right now. We're kind of out of vogue, as it were.
Yeah, I wanted to think that there was a little bit of a renaissance of that with the people in Minneapolis that were calling 9/11 and not getting any response, or just literally some of the operators said, or dispatchers said, you got to take care of it yourself. And that kind of leads me into the gun control debate. I don't think it's gone. And I know for a fact it's not gone. I think you were the one that shared the new Black Panthers Party post. And going back, that has sparked more gun control than any other group in the history in the last 40 years.
Sure.
So, I'd like to think that there's some self-sufficiency, but, the whole gloom and doom, Corona, everybody's going to die, Great Depression. The bluff was called, not happening. I think the economy will bounce back a little bit. Now we're on to, this week's scenario of, look here, look what we can divide you with and control you with today. So, yeah, I mean, so you survived the great riots of 2020. What did you see in your neighborhood?
Nothing. Hopkins is fine. This is why, like I am more resolved to living in the suburbs for the rest of my life than I ever have been. Like, that's the reality.
Oh, you and me both, brother. I love living in Uptown.
People want to hate on the suburbs, but, like, no lie, this shit, dope.
Yeah. I hated when I moved to the suburbs. I actually had to drive my car to go do something. I couldn't park it on Friday and walk or take a cab or a bus to go do something. But I got to tell you, pretty quickly it got nice, and I started seeing some of the awful underbelly of the metro. It just the political stances and the "you owe me a living" attitude that you see when you suddenly extricate yourself from Minneapolis and look at it from the outside.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
it's
refreshing.
once you get out of it, it's fucking great. You know, like it's like I don't know. I believe I feel the same way with a lot of the racial tension too. I just don't buy into it. I just don't. And people are like, "Oh, that's racist. That's your privilege." I don't care. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. You go outside your house. I have traveled around this globe on a level most people never will. I am 2 continents away from being on every continent. I have been to Africa, I have been to Asia, I have been to Europe, I've been to North America, like, you know, like obviously, but like the idea was like you can't racism is one of those things that a cultural mixing pot gets rid of. All of us, every single person here, we are less racist than our grandparents were, and our grandkids will be less racist than us. That's just how it works. And this weird idea, I mean, the thing that bothers me, and I feel like you as a libertarian slash minarchist, is if we don't keep dividing ourselves, we can never overthrow them. Like, if you look around and, like, if you look around and you see all these different groups and you think that one of them prioritized is going to fix anything, you're not paying attention. Because what this is all these race issues that, like, racism is, like, there is no real racism in America. What racism is it's a systemic poverty issue because black people used to be property. And then when we freed them, they weren't even really free till like the 90s. You could make the argument in some places they still aren't, I guess. But like the systemic, like my buddy Amaru Lewis said this, and I thought it was very, very poignant, is that when they freed the slaves and the slave owners, nobody got therapy. Like, so there's nothing that you can do but pass on that hate and that weirdness going forward, you know? And like, it plays through in all of it. It's like the stereotype of black people being bad with money. Well, part of that comes from Black Wall Street and the fact that when they were segregated in their own community, people would actually light on fire their banks. And then they had no money. So you get it programmed into this like mentality of, oh, I better spend this money or somebody will fucking take it from me. That's understandable. And all this shit, all of it is being perpetuated by a fucking government that doesn't represent the people. And I'm getting so fucking fed up with like Facebook people, not the platform. Facebook's garbage. We all know that. But like the talking head, like this last year, I think is the worst that I have ever seen for people just simply regurgitating talking head points. Like I love it. As a libertarian, and I'm interested to hear if you run into this too. I don't know that I've had an easier time defending my ideology than the last 5-6 years because they both come so close to being the same. And every single argument that I come across is one that like 78 people, because like one talking head will say it. And then the moment, you know, like, oh, what society has ever done libertarianism and worked? Well, most tribal cultures, tribalism is libertarianism. They just don't know what to say to that because they get a hold of these regurgitated talking head points and then they don't listen to anything else.
Well, I got to tell you, biggest argument, you've been living in statism for how long, and you hate it.
Yes.
You're rebelling against it. Is that working for you? Well, our alternative is right there.
Right.
So, interesting that you mentioned that 5-6 years. I happen to go back through some of the Facebook memories and saw when I ran communications for the LPMN and patted myself on the back with the better professionalism that the old posts were and the blog posting. But, you know, I looked at that and I looked at some of the things that I had been saying back then, and I had talked about police brutality.
Hold
And
on.
how
Savage Dragon D said, I don't mean to sound like a denier on anything, but a lot of these race issues that everyone claims to find is only because they are directly looking for it when you set it aside and actually go outside your bubble. You'll see that racism isn't relevant or great. Well, but here's the thing, Savage Dragon D. When's the last time you were actually in 3 hugely metropolis cities, like different, like Minneapolis, St. Paul size cities? When's the last time in a calendar year you were in 3 cities that size? And I'm not trying to single you out. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. What I'm saying is that all of us, myself included, you, we cannot understand our bubble because we're in it. That's the way it works. And you're absolutely right about that. I think that there is racism, but I think it's systemic poverty. I really believe that. I think that I agree with you, though. If you go out into your community, I mean, I go over to my gas station by my house. I can't tell you how many, I see different races, sizes, sexes, fucking religions. I don't give a fuck. You know what I do? Hey, how's it going? Pretty good. Man, this weather sucks. Yeah, it's fucking hot. All right, have a good day. You too. Because that's how people are. This fucking racial war that's being stirred up is a media thing. The media is trying to get us fucking involved. And this idea that, like these shootings keep happening and that, or the killings of the cops keep happening, and that sucks. But the idea is that it's not like they want to divide us because then they get to rule us. Because if Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. I mean, there was a moment in Minneapolis, where for a split second you had white supremacists fighting alongside Black Lives Matter. Just think about that. That is us versus them. And until we get on board with uniting like that, we can't beat them. There's more of us than them, so they have to keep us divided. Go ahead. I got a little, like, on my pulpit.
No, you're absolutely correct. It's a huge media thing. And historically, if you look at what the federal government has done to poor communities, who largely were for a long time emerging from being freed from slavery to coming into being segregated into the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Immediately after that, we look at qualified immunity in 1967. That's when it was incepted to roll back the new freedoms and absolve police officers who were all white at that time, and government officials to have free reign to pass laws and use their power again in the same fashion that they had forever. So kind of circling back to the left-leaning libertarian possible presidential candidate introducing a bill to end qualified immunity. I mean, that's been around to kind of undo, to absolve the oppressors, the government, or people in power against using their weight against the citizenry. And it's not just black, brown people. It affects everyone. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, Asian. The ruling class can put their boot
well,
on you.
That's the thing that bothers me so much. It's like, I get you guys are socialists on the left. I get that. But fucking, like, stop being such a bootlicker. Corey Adams Rogue Thumb says, can left-leaning libertarians actually exist? Yes, they do. So in libertarianism, there's something called thick libertarianism and thin libertarianism. Typically, the people that lean towards the right are what's called thin libertarians, and that just means that they want less infrastructure. People who lean to the left that want more, like, function and more legislation, they become thick libertarians. The reality about libertarianism is it's more about personal freedom than it is about anything else. There's basically, the construct is do what you want, don't hurt other people, and your government should only really be doing 2 things, which is protecting the citizens from threats both foreign and domestic, and upholding the Constitution. That's all your government should ever be doing. But yeah, there's left-leaning, there's right-leaning, there's center libertarians. Libertarianism is the only real party to me that really focuses on individualism, and individualism to me is the key. Because the reason when I say both sides are the same, like I say it all the time, I mean collectivists. Like, here's the reality of collectivism. No matter what you do, you literally cannot violate the rights of the individual and uphold the rights of the collective. The moment you're violating individual rights is the moment the collective has no rights.
Well, see, that's the thing with collectivism. The government makes it. They want to divide you into groups and pit you against each group, rather than you as an individual, like you had talked about, going to the gas station, shaking hands with your neighbor and saying, "Hey, how's it going?" I mean, when I lived in Uptown, I went down to a Greek deli down the block.
Was it It's Greek to me?
No,
I'm a fucking
although
crackhead.
in my neighborhood, and it was run by a bunch of Palestinian guys.
Okay.
And awesome dudes. And, you know, kind of had the joke about, oh, we're a bunch of Palestinian guys running a Greek deli that we bought. And you know, you're just a white dude that comes in and we shoot the shit, smoke cigarettes, you buy a Euro now and again. And it was all good. And we talked about how it's cool to be neighbors in the neighborhood and friendly. But when you get to the government and the media, they don't want you ever to see that at all. They want you to be on one side or the other. And one of the easiest characteristics is how you look, and to divide you by group.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, that's what they do. It's funny because it's base like communist recruiting tactics. That's the funny part about it.
Oh, that's absolutely what it is. And that kind of gets back to locking down and ruining local, independent, small, individual businesses.
Sure.
And funneling that money that was meant to help people. Well, you got a $1,200 check. If you got the brunt of that money, would have been $5-10 grand. But no, it went to large corporations.
Well, and then how do they run out of fucking money when it's time to bail out small businesses? Like, this is what I'm fucking talking about. At every turn, you can definitively point to how a private-owned business will run better than the government. Like you could make the argument, and I know people are gonna fucking jump on my ass about this. You could make the argument that from a business standpoint, Trump is one of the best presidents we've ever had because he's not letting people just spend shit. He's vetoing stuff, and he's walking away from trade deals where we are supposed to be leveraging our military defense, which is supposed to be the UN's job, not ours, against this fiscal reimbursement that we don't get. Here,
So
all right,
what
Ryan,
did you
hold on
do?
one second. Hold on one second. I'm going to put you on mute real quick, or you can mute yourself. I'm going to actually take some questions. I see some people joined in. 5 Cheese joined into the Discord. We've got Russell Mania. Russell, do you have anything you'd like to say? You have to unmute your mic, but pop in if you want. If you have anything you would like to sound off, go ahead, Russell. I don't know if he'll get there. It's kind of hard because there's a little bit of a delay, so you gotta. John Russell, unmute your mic, bro. Talk. Get in that Discord, baby. Maybe not. He might be toast. Whatever. Let's see here. 5 Cheese. 5 Cheese want to talk? Nobody? All right. Let's go Doima. Doima, you have anything you want to say? You're the resident lefty.
First of all, thick libertarians are hot.
Okay.
How about them thick libertarians?
Did you do some research on thick libertarianism finally?
On Pornhub, it's actually my favorite category. It's great.
Do tread on
make
me
yourself
and then
come,
choke
though.
me and call me daddy.
Exactly. No, like actually, like you and doing some research and things. Like I think that I could be closer to being down with something like thick libertarianism. Like I am a left leaning person. I still have the idea of the social safety nets, things like that. So that's.
But at what
that's something
point?
that
At what point is that safety net not safe when they're targeting minorities? That's the problem.
I
You know,
mean-
it's like I think everybody and this is why the argument against it
Here
is
comes
so
the
hard.
money.
Oh shit! Here comes the money. Here we go. I had to make sure I get those air horns off before they copyright strike. I found. I think I told you this. I found a really funny thing that if I just hit the air horns when the sounds go, it doesn't get copyright struck.
Yeah, I
Because
heard that.
whatever algorithm they go for can be dissuaded by fucking air horns. So okay, Ryan, pop back in. Doima, you stay here. We'll do it. We'll do a 3-man because this is the power of Discord right here. So Ryan, my friend here, Doima, is just a giant fucking pussy.
Oh, that's fine. I'm a giant
hold
hot
on.
pussy, so wow, that was weird.
Well, you are what you eat.
Yeah, well, then he's a giant dick. But the idea is that, like, I think Matt's heart is in the right place. He has always been very, very liberal-leaning since I knew him. But, like, he's really coming across. And I think, like, to me, like, because Doima, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not trying to, like, insult you, but I feel like you were leaning way more towards being a socialist when I met you.
Yeah, I've kind of come to like while there's certain parts of socialism that I understand how in theory it could work. I'm just seeing the more the practice.
Have you ever read the book Road to Serfdom?
I have not, but I've heard of it.
Oh, I love Hayek.
Yeah, well, I love that book specifically. So what happens is Hayek, right? That's the author, Doima. This dude was a very, very acclaimed socialist that wrote a book that talked him out of being a socialist. Like, he talked himself out of being a socialist while writing the book.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. But yeah, so like, Ryan, what would you say to somebody like Doima that used to align more towards the left and now they're just kind of, you know, because the thing is that, like, it's a very weird stigma that libertarians have because everybody just thinks that we're fucking Republicans because Republicans are cowards and they will tell their friends they're libertarians to not own up to voting for Trump. That happens all the time.
Honestly, you know, I was kind of following the Twitter war with the quote unquote ex-Republicans on out of the Mises Caucus. You know, Tom Woods.
Hold on one second. Brady, shut the fuck up! Ask the question or don't! Good God damn it! All right, go ahead. Oh, God. He just fucking in the chat room. Corey, hey, Corey, I can fucking read you! Ask the fucking question! Ah! All right, we're back. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, honestly, you've got guys like Nick Sarwark that are accused of being, you know, the left sympathizing, you know, the Libertarian National Party chair that will.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I met Kara Schultz at a party last weekend, by the way.
Oh, she's awesome.
She had a lot of cool things to say to you. And then there was this other chick named Hannah who was very rude to me, and I could tell she was just trying to grease Kara's wheels.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Kara and we're both Libertarian National Party employees together.
She spoke very highly of you, which I always think is the worst. Brady, I swear to God, I'm going to hunt you down and fucking take a 9-iron to your head. Also, if anybody's listening, this is a comedy show and that's parody. I will fucking kill you. You hear me? All right, go ahead. So what would you say? What would you say to somebody like Doima, who's having that awakening moment? Because I feel like everybody has, like, everyone I know that's a libertarian, they have this weird awakening moment where they're like, "Oh wait, the system is fucked."
I mean, honestly, I kind of saw that when Bernie dropped out of the DNC race, and Nick Sarwark on Twitter was like, "Hey, Bernie, join the Libertarian Party," and he caught a lot of flack for it. But you know what? All the things that a guy like Bernie wants, and not the methods, but what he really wants. So when you're talking about,
I think that's the whole romance of socialism anyways. Everybody fucking talks all this good game about socialism, but you take any candidate. It's like Tovar's got a friend who is a very, very well spoken, very educated historian who calls himself a Marxist. And I want to talk to this guy because Marxism is bullshit. You don't understand. Like, if you subscribe to Marxism, you don't understand it. Like, so many people are Marxists or socialists and they don't read their Marx books.
So all the guys that are Marxist, when you look at the societies that followed that, and the people that really followed those ideals, where did it get them? They didn't actually get any of those things that they were promised, ever. And when you look at how well off that we are in the U.S. with a mixed economy, we can't call it capitalism at all.
No, I think it's a corrupt oligarchy if we're gonna just designate it.
Why? It is, absolutely. But you look at up to the really corrupt oligarchy that we have today. The freer parts of where we were gave people better health care, better entertainment, better way of life, any more than any government program could ever give you. So when I look at socialism, oh yeah, we can have all these things. You really have to look behind you at what you already have because of things that were not government mandated or handed out to you. The market's already given you so much.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. People get mad about like capitalism versus socialism because capitalism has winners and losers. But the average median of people's life is up. Like with socialism, everybody gets to be equally poor. That's how that works.
Well, and that's the thing. And it's by force.
Yes.
Whether you want to participate or not, it's taken from you. And if you want to buy, and if you're at that absolute lowest income level and you don't agree with that and you want to have a different option, one, you're not making enough money that you can. And two, any money that would be available from charity from the next income tier up, that next class up, is gone because it's taken from them to give them the equal treatment, and you are taxed as well. So you can't buy anything else. I mean, you have choice taken away from you on where you want to spend your money, what services you have, what you want to do with your life. You're really limited. When you get caught into that trap of you owe the government, you can't go anywhere. And it's not fun. I've been there. It sucks.
Wait, you've been there?
Try not paying your taxes.
No.
Trust me.
How much? Wait, okay. So can we get some honesty from you? How many years did you go without paying your taxes?
5.
Okay. And what was the overall like monetary amount to fix that?
Wage garnishment.
They garnish your fucking wages?
Yeah, for several years. And let me tell you, it's.
Aren't you a subcontractor anyways, though? How much did they really get off you, though?
That's the funny thing. When you write a check out to the guy, well, and I wasn't always doing that. I had other jobs while I was doing that. So basically, I had zero income from any other jobs that I worked aside from my contracting. So my check that I wrote out to the government at the end of the year was about double what it should have been.
Wait, hold on. I got to address this shit. Brady, shut the fuck up. Check it out. Ready? Check this out. This is the biggest fucking pet peeve ever. Are you ready? You ready? He literally just asked me, if I asked a question, would you answer it? Yes, I would. See? Now you wasted your question and I fucking answered it. Fuck you. Go ahead, Ryan.
Huh.
This is the problem, is that these fans enjoy me mad. I hate that.
Huh. Do you enjoy being mad?
No! Fuck you!
I'm the fucking
Dude, smoke some weed. Chill out.
I can't smoke weed because Twitch will deplatform you for drug usage. I've never smoked weed, and I want everybody to know that I honestly am saying this not just because I'm on somewhere where I could get deplatformed. Also, you're right. I should probably need some more weed.
Back.
What?
It's a
All
CBD pen, right?
Yeah, it's all tobacco. It's jazz cabbage, I like to call it. All right. Hold on 1 sec. Taxes theft. You're unmuted. Go ahead, Brady. What do you want to ask me? Go. Watch what bullshit this will be. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Up, and he left. Motherfucker. See? Ugh. All right, go ahead, Ryan. So, like, what, like, so you had your wages. Wait, no, you missed your chance. You're muted. Go away, Ryan. Go ahead. What's the point of having your own channel and your own fucking thing if you can't just be a totalitarian about it? You don't like it? Get off my lawn. What up?
Hey, privatize.
Privatize everything. Privatize fucking everything. Name one business that the government can do better than the private sector, Ryan. Go.
None.
Yes. Goddamn right. None.
See, that's the thing.
Name the best football team on the fucking planet.
Are their colors green and yellow? No.
Who was that? Was that Cabra? Did Cabra just say murder? I'm gonna mute him too. Fuck him. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I guess if your argument is murder, they do that pretty efficiently.
They tear gas protesters pretty well.
I feel like that could be done better by the private sector. I mean, like, think about this. They ran out of tear gas. Like, I feel like with some actual training and somebody there looking out for them, like, they would have been able to fucking clear that.
You know, the U.S. is the only country that uses tear gas on its own citizens.
Yeah, did you know it's a violation of the Geneva Convention, but we do it on our own citizens?
Just going to say that.
Yeah. Also, if you're finding yourself protesting or doing anything else, remember, road cones and water. If you see tear gas, you put the cone over it, and then it can't go anywhere, and then you pour water, and it'll go out. Like, literally, like, tear gas is a non-issue if you have road cones. True story.
So I was actually corrected when I called the rubber bullets and tear gas, grenades.
Dude, those rubber bullets are like fucking shells, though. I mean, like, fuck.
So, no, I was corrected because legally they were required to call them not non-lethal, but less than lethal.
You could fucking kill somebody with those giant fucking shotgun rubber bullet shells.
You're absolutely right. That's why legally they were required to label them as less than lethal, not non-lethal. So the proper use, which the police in every major metropolitan area that had riots did not use them as, is to bounce those rubber bullets off of the ground, bounce the tear gas canisters at the feet of protesters.
It's better than bouncing the protesters' heads off the ground, right?
Well, you know, and then you could have 60 police, you know, quit the reserve unit over it.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy, right? God, you're right. Everybody quit, but they're all bad apples.
You know, the thing is, they only quit that special unit. They're still employed by the police department.
Yeah, well, duh. Who cares? Fuck them. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to get caught up. So, okay, Ryan, what advice would you have to a would-be socialist who's waking up to just individualism in Doimo? Like, what would you tell him? Like, where does he turn? Where does he go to, like, research more and form his own opinion? Because this is one thing that I think people really don't understand about, like, really hardcore libertarians / minarchists / whatever you want to identify as, is that the biggest thing I like to do is I like to raise discussions, and then I like to let other people come to their own conclusions, because I believe in a conflict conversation, you'll never change anybody's mind, but you can point them at information that they can interact with that might change their own mind.
So I think that comes down to a question. What problems does socialism solve for you so that you can go and do something else that you want to do?
Doima, answer the question.
Answer the question?
No, I said Doima, answer the question.
Well, that's where I'm trying to evolve my stance, Corey.
No, I know, and this. Okay, stop. Nobody's coming at you, man. I'm actually.
No, I understand
very.
that.
Listen to me. No, shut up. Listen to me. I'm very proud of you and the intellectual growth you've done in the last 2 to 3 years. Specifically, not going on stage as Maddie D anymore. I love that decision. That being said, though, I mean, like hear what Ryan's asking you and just answer the question. Don't get hyperbolic on it. Just answer the question. This is not. We're not attacking you. We're not anything. This is just.
So my biggest issue was with privatized medicine in this country versus what the experience that I had, anecdotally, mind you, living in Europe.
Okay.
I never had to wait for appointments.
Mm-hmm.
never had what do they keep saying? Oh, you're gonna have to wait for so long, and you're gonna have all these issues. You know, the
Where
big
in
thing,
Europe?
the big argument. I didn't grow up there. But I studied abroad over there.
Yeah, I said where in Europe.
Oh, that was specifically Germany.
Okay. I also lived in Germany for 2
So-
years. Great country.
Yeah, I'm just
Go,
saying that
go
I
Munich.
never.
Is that
I
how
never,
you? Is that how you got into soccer so hard?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Go Munich, baby. What up?
That's where you and I are gonna get. Don't really. Those are fighting words. We're not talking about that right now.
Oh shit, are you not a Munich guy?
No, I hate. Bayern Munich is the New York Yankees of fucking.
Yeah, they
German
are,
soccer.
and it's awesome to root for one, baby.
So it's kind of interesting that you bring up Germany as one of the areas for healthcare, and you talk about socialized healthcare. They're actually a little bit different from some of the areas in the EU, where they have health cooperatives and groups and health share beyond the state.
Which means, what does that mean? Does that
provided-
mean they're not conscripting the doctors?
Yeah. So here's the nice thing, and here's where when I've talked to people that from the U.S. that have lived in Germany, and from my German friends, that here's where they're different, and this is why I think you may have the idea that the socialized healthcare is different, where there are health cooperatives that you can buy into that allow you to basically use them like a socialized insurance policy, and a collective, so you can collectively buy blocks of healthcare. And Germany has a little bit more of a free market in the nonprofit sense with that idea. On the other side, from the independent small business person area, I work with a lot of people in the UK, Sweden, Norway, and France, particularly. I have a friend in the UK who has sleep apnea. He has an 18-month wait to get a test to see
Good.
if he can
Fuck
get
him.
approved for.
If he can't breathe while he's sleeping, he doesn't deserve to be here, Ryan.
Yeah, well, but
You just want people to die.
Of course I do. When they're 90, 100, and have lived a full life.
Fascist. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. No, so yeah, I mean, I really would like to look into and talk more about how Germany's healthcare works, because it's really unique.
Well, how about this, Ryan? We keep having you on here. We should just schedule you a day, and we'll just do politics, and we can study and do whatever the fuck you want. Because I love. I mean, awesome. I could like you and I mean, like we've talked about this a bunch. Like I could talk to you about politics indefinitely, and I feel like you and I see eye to eye on 92% of it, and the other 8 makes for very interesting conversations.
So I want to finish answering Matt's question.
No, fine, go.
Minnesota, with the law about having healthcare or health insurance,
beverage wench. Good.
Is actually a good thing. And to expand on it and do Germany's model would be even better, where you can buy into a collective and it's not a profit. So that's the best of both worlds, where you have competition, yet you have controls over it, where it's still for the individual and not all about profit.
So long answer longer. It's not really socialism.
No, it's more about voluntarism, where you voluntarily buy into a collective.
Sure.
There
Isn't
is
that
a
what
government.
like so basically like it's like socialism on a voluntary level is better? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's not socialism. It's voluntarism, where that's what nonprofits are, where you voluntarily support an organization that has your collective interest in mind. So you as a group support each other, and you can donate and also benefit from that organization. But it's not forced. You're not taxed. You can come in and go as you please. Not sure that's the exact way that the German healthcare collectives work, but that's kind of the idea behind the expanded coverage beyond the government provided baseline.
All right, Doima, response. Go ahead.
No, that was concise, and I guess I think I have to do some more research as well.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is where intellectualism is the best. Because I agree. I think everybody should do their own research. Like, I tell people this all the time on Facebook. If you don't believe what I'm saying or you don't trust my sources, do your own fucking research. Like, we got to this really weird point as a society where denying facts is perceived as knowledge.
Can I tell you what's starting to win me over?
Yeah.
Your argument about privatizing the police, actually, I
Oh,
did a
the
little
privatizing
bit more.
police would be amazing. Like, I swear to God, as God is my witness, and Ryan can back me up on this, if we had a privatized police force, the moment Jamal Clark happened, everybody would have been fired because you can get rid of them super easy. They would have been rehired, and there's a very good chance we don't have the other 3 national headline police murders.
Yeah, it was specifically, I started looking into how like officers are removed from there and
Yeah.
seeing how embedded they are in police unions, and like I started looking at like
It's
things
it's literally
higher
it's as
back
hard
rate.
it's as hard to get rid of a bad cop as it is to get rid of a teacher with tenure. Just think about that.
So I just shared a link in the chat, an article that I published for one of my clients today.
Oh, and you're publishing articles? Jesus Christ, dude. Leave some pussy for the rest of us. Also, that
but
link
honestly-
you posted, so right there, right? That's in general. Underneath it, there's a hashtag TwitchTok show. That's the one
Oh.
everybody can see. So post it right there.
Uh,
Repost. I mean, I
there
can
we
see it,
go.
but just make sure everybody can. If you're
Yeah.
not on the Discord, I highly recommend you get over there. We are having a great night tonight, talking a lot of issues, trying to badger a socialist into just absolutely repenting. That's not actually what happened, but it's fun to say.
Yeah. Well, so here's a nice happy. Well, I'm not.
Oh,
even
of
gonna
course,
call it a
of
happy
course,
medium.
you publish a fucking libertarian.org article. Good for you. I love it. All right, hold on. We're gonna. You know what?
Well-
I'm gonna. Here's a freebie for people that aren't in Discord. We're gonna give you this link because it's important. Here we. Oh, you already did. Look at you. You already did it.
There you go. Hey, I'm
And we will
just
put it.
helping
Check
you
this
out.
out. Let's see if we can get this. I'm really having fun with these the text stuff of all this. Boom, boom. Wait. Yes. There we go. I mean, it looks like shit, but whatever. We'll just crop. Who cares? Nobody cares. There we go. Look at all that. Okay, so what is it? What does this say? So it's there for everybody to see. What is it? What is the gist of it, Ryan?
So here's a little short article that we put out today, and it talks about really breaking away from.
Also, side note, really weird flex. That's not an article. That's a fucking like paragraph. FYI.
Hey, I know.
Okay. Hey, as long as you're being honest about it, I get it. Oh shit! Here comes the money.
Oh, you got a money thing?
Shout out to Bly Dog for giving some money. We got to get that alert box up more. Priority. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So here's the gist of that. That let's make policing a profession and not a union trade. We all know that public
Yes.
unions protect the lowest common denominator
Mhm.
and try and make everyone equal. So your best cop out there who's moral, who does the right thing, who wants to turn in his bad cops for killing people, let's just be honest.
All right, hold on 1 sec. I'm gonna get caught up with the chat because I wanted to address some shit that's disappearing because we're having such a good conversation. So we'll go real quick. I just want to say, Savage Dragon D. Yeah, I accept what you said. You clearly have been to a bunch of other cities. I just was curious because a lot of people that talk about bubbles don't ever get out of theirs. So let's see here. 0.001 for each bit. No. Should we get more bits? Blah, 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 blah. You just got to make them feel like they're being heard, you know? You got to go through all of them. Because, like, eventually it gets so high up in the queue, they disappear, right? So you got to make sure everybody's getting here. So here's Brady with 17 million. See, Brady, this is where you fuck the show. If you hadn't spammed that fucking thing, we'd have more to go by. Also, shout out to John Russell Comedy. Actually, shout out to Cheeseburger Pie, who's gifting subs like it's going out of fashion, baby. Fuck yeah. Let's see. We didn't answer. Not an actual death threat. Translation. Think you're cool. Let's get another juice box. Yep. Let's see. Shut up. Sit down. Hold on. We'll get there. I'm just going over them real quick, guys. Give me 1 sec. What do you think is... Mags writes... More of those we got. Shout out to T Thompson 2008 also subscribing super red. Let's see. Megs says why Meg says, what do you think is the reason why a third party hasn't been successful in an election? I think they have been successful. I mean, Jesse Ventura was a third party election and he won it. I mean, I think like the main problem is, to me, people measure success in different increments. Like, people think that that's just what it is. Oh, motherfucker. It just died, didn't it? God damn it. Can you guys hear me in Discord? All right. Wait for it. Hi. We're back. Are we back?